get to a stage that people will say, this product has no competitor. It is the best, the ultimate, the superb. That's when you start attracting customers without you wasting too much energy in talking, or doing too much to bring them. Rather, your products are the ones fetching your customers for you. When we are talking of products, remember we are also mentioning services as well. So, product and service, we are talking as something you are giving out there to end users. So, in SWOT, we've mentioned the strength, we've mentioned the weakness. Remember, the the O is opportunity. The SWOT, O is opportunity. So, what opportunity do you think you have created for your product to thrive out there? What have you done to say that you can beat your chest? Now I am able to do more than they expect from my product. My product can give them the satisfaction they need, or my services can render the satisfaction of my customers or my clients. How do you identify this? You first of all should test your product yourself in what you do and find out if there is any need for you to add more opportunities to your products or services. I mean, if you have something to do with strategies, you have to enlarge your course and you have to add more services. You have to add more to the value that you created for the product or service. This value that you are creating is what we call the proposition and positioning of your product or service to gain more opportunity for the admirers, for your target market, for people who wants to use them, and people who are in need of what you render as either products or services. So we've talked about the strength, the weakness, opportunity. Then what about the threat? There is no product that doesn't have a threat. What is making your product not being accepted? That's the threat. And especially when it's something that you cannot control. If it's that you have to work with the electricity, do you have light? Do you have constant light, constant electricity to work with? Do you have alternatives to electricity like generator to work with? These are what are affecting you, and they are called a threat. Sometimes you can control them, sometimes you can't control them. It depends. And your location, it also matters. If it is where you have to face the nature and it's sometimes issues of not being comfortable, maybe it's affecting your services and productions, then you have to look into it. It is a threat. Anything that can affect you negatively that you usually don't have control over, or is it about the economy of your country? Is it about the situation of things that you cannot control? These are what we call threat. And in threat, you have to be very careful, because in considering your product, you need to know the threat that can affect your product. With the knowledge of the threat of your product, you have placed your product to thrive, because you've already started solving the issue. So, SWOT, as I already mentioned, as the product identification for projecting your product to the public or the target community, your target end users. When you solve the issue of SWOT, you have done a lot for that product, and the product will definitely get to the end users, and they will be the ones selling your product for you. Because when someone uses something good, they will call their neighbor or tell their friends about the product. This is how people reduce their expenses on business promotions because the product is speaking for itself. Before you get to this point, you must have done a lot of research, you know that. You must have done a lot of research, followed up in a lot of feedbacks as well to find out whether what you have done to achieve your SWOT positivity is working for you. And when you are assured that you're already there with the product making its way in the market, you will smile to yourself that you did your work. You did your background check. So, it is necessary that we have to monitor, have specifications of how we thrive with our products by adding value to the products, studying the strength, the weakness, the opportunity, and the threat. I believe you've learned something today. So before you start pushing your product out there, examine your product very well. Peruse your product very well. Checkmate and do a lot of things that you have to do to make sure that you have confidence that your product or your service is reaching out in good to meet your target audience or target market with the good faith that it will speak for you. So the more you do better, the more you grow better, the more you get there. And I wish you all the best in your business. Thank you for viewing this and keep watching out for next episode. Thank you, and I say I am Mary Jane Ilozor. Bye bye.